Hello, good morning. Today we're going to review implicit differentiation. So we talked about this in early September. If you have x squared plus y squared equal 1, it represents the equation of the circle. So when you have equation of the circle, then you have two equations. So one for the upper part and one for the lower part. So you get y squared equal to 1 minus x squared, and then you solve for it. So we say that the upper part is going to be y equal to square root of 1 minus x squared. The lower part is going to be y equal to negative square root of 1 minus x squared. You do not want to make this equation into two functions and then find the derivative separately. It's too much work. So we're going to use a method called implicit differentiation. So let's take a look at x squared plus y squared equal to 1. So we say that you're going to rewrite this into this format. Y is y of x. Then we're going to use chain rule. So now we're going to find the derivative. So x squared, you got 2x. And then you put the 2 in the front. Exponent is 1. And then you find the derivative to the inner, which is y prime of x. So that is the chain rule. And the derivative 1 is 0. So this is the whole idea about the implicit differentiation. So you have to use the chain rule every time you see y. So now we're going to rewrite it into a simpler representation. So now that's usually what we write, 2x plus 2y times y prime equal to 0. So next step will be this algebra. We're going to solve for the y prime. So we finished finding the dy dx, which is negative x over y. Let's take a look at question number 2. We got 4x squared minus 2y squared equal 9. So we already know that y is y of x. So this time I'm going to skip writing that. So we know that every time we see y, we're going to use the chain rule. So we're going to find a derivative. So you're going to get ax minus 2 times 2 is 4. Y to the first power, immediately you times y prime. And the derivative of a 9 is 0. Derivative of a number is always 0. And now next step, we just have to solve for the y prime. So we're going to do regular algebra. Simplify it. So we get y prime equal to 2x over y. Let's go to question number 3. Question number 3. So we get x cubed plus y cubed equal to 3xy. So we know that every time you see y, you have to use the chain rule. And here we know that it's going to be 3y to second power times y prime. And this part we get 3x times y. We have to use the product rule. So we're going to make u equal to 3x equal to number 3 with the x. U prime equal to 3 and v prime equal y prime. The derivative of y is y prime. So now we're going to find the derivative. X cubed, so 3x squared. And then y cubed, 3y squared times y prime. That's the part that you had to remember. And now we're going to use the product rule. So 3y plus 3x times y prime. There are two terms with the y prime, so we're going to solve for y prime. So we have to put all the terms with the y prime together. So I'm going to subtract the 3xy prime. And then I'm going to minus the 3x squared both sides. Next step, you factor out the y prime. And we're going to divide this both sides. So this is already a correct answer, but if you want to simplify, you can factor out the 3 because they all have 3 in common. And then you simplify it. So you got y minus x squared over y squared minus x. We finished question number 3. Now let's take a look at number 4. So we have to use a plotter rule over here. So make u equal to 4x and v equal to y. So u prime is 4, v prime is y prime. The derivative of y is always y prime. So we got derivative of x squared, so 2x. And then we're going to do the product rule. So 4y plus 4x times y prime. And the derivative of y is y prime. So we already put all the term with the y prime to one side. So we minus 4x y prime. So we go to the right side. And there on the right side, now we have to factor out the y prime. The invisible one is right here. You don't have to write it, but you remember. Now we divide both sides by the 1 minus 4x. So we finished the question. So the y prime is 2x plus 4y over 1 minus 4x. Now let's go to question number 5. Number 5 and number 4 look similar. The only difference is in the middle. 4 is plus, this is minus. So some people made mistake if there was a minus sign. So you had to do 2x minus the product rule equal to y prime. You had to distribute a negative sign. Okay, so we had u and v. So 2x minus 4y plus 4xy prime equal to y prime. So don't forget to distribute the minus sign if there was a minus sign in front of the product. So it becomes 2x minus 4y minus 4xy prime equal y prime. So the only difference is if there was a minus sign in front, so you have to distribute it. So now we're going to plus a 4xy prime both sides. Now it is regular algebra. So we're going to factor out the y prime. And then you divide so we finished the question number 5. Let's take a look at number 6. Number 6. We get 5y squared plus sine y equal to x squared. So we have the outer function, sine or something. The inner is y. So you had to be careful with the outer function and the inner function. So now 5y squared. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10y to the first power and times y prime. The derivative of sine is cosine. Cosine of what? Y. And then immediately multiply the derivative of the inner, which is y prime. And the derivative of this part will be 2x. Now we're going to go back to regular. Factor out the y prime. So you get 10y plus cosine y equal to 2x. So y prime equals to 2x divided by 10y plus cosine y. So we finished question number 6. Let's go to number 7. Number 7, so we get sine of x squared y squared equal to x. So we get the outer function, the sine in the inner. We have to use the product rule. So that means you're going to do is cosine or whatever in sine stay the same, and then you multiply the product rule. Due to x is 1. So you get u equal to x squared and v equal to y squared. So u prime equal to 2x, v prime equal to 2y times y prime. So you get cosine x squared y squared. And then don't forget to multiply the product rule. 2x y squared plus this time this. So 2 go first, x squared y, y prime. You go by number, order, you get x before y. So now from here, there are more than one way to do it. So I'm going to use a common way, which is the distributive property. So I'm going to multiply this and this. You get cosine x squared y squared times 2xy squared and plus cosine x squared y squared and times 2x squared y times y prime equal to 1. So this is the term with the y prime, and this has to go to the other side. So I subtract. So now I get cosine of the x squared y squared times 2x squared y times y prime equal 1 minus. And divide this. This go to denominator. So we finished question number 7. Let's take a look at number 8. Number 8, we got ln of 2x plus y equal to x plus 1. So number 8, natural log of 2x plus y equal to x plus 1. So you have to think of ln u. So it should be 1 over u times u prime equal to 1 plus 0. So u equal to 2x plus y. So u prime, it will be 2 plus y prime. Derivative of 2x is 2, derivative of y is y prime. So we go back over here, so it will be 1 over 2x plus y, and times, don't forget parentheses, 2 plus y prime equal to 1. So from here, some people may do the multiplying out and distributive property, but since this is a denominator, so I decided not to use the distributive property. I am going to times this both sides, or cross multiply. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 plus y prime over 2x plus y equal to 1. 1 times this. Now you cross multiply, so you got 2 plus y prime equal to 2x plus y. And now we just subtract 2 both sides. So that y prime equal to 2x plus y minus 2. So we finished question number 8. Now let's take a look at question number 9. Number 9, you got e to the x minus y equal to 2x squared minus y squared. So we have to think of e to the u. So y equal to e to the u, then y prime will be e to the u times u prime. So now over here, so e to the u times u prime equal to 4x minus 2y times y prime. So u equal to x minus y. Then u prime, derivative of x is 1, derivative of y is y prime. So we go back here, we got e to the x minus y and time. Don't forget parentheses. Without that, it's not the same thing. 1 minus y prime. In other words, if you have more than one term, you have to use parentheses. So we have 1 minus y prime. And then you have another term y prime over here. Definitely, we should use distributive properties to make it easier to group them together later on. So we get multiply, we got e to the x minus y minus e to the x minus y times y prime equal to 4x minus 2y times y prime. So I'm going to move this term to the right side. So we're going to plus e to the x minus y times y prime. And I want to move the 4x to the other side, so I minus 4x. So I do them together this time. So now I have e to the x minus y minus 4x on the left. On the right, I will get negative 2y times y prime and plus e to the x minus y times y prime. Next, factor out the y prime. So I get y prime times negative 2y plus e to the x minus y, and you have e to the x minus y minus 4x. Divide this both sides. So you have e to the x minus y minus 4x over this part, so which is negative 2y plus e to the x minus y. So I finished finding the dy dx. Okay, now go to B. Find dy dx at the 1, 1. So that means x equal 1, y equal 1. Now we go back over here. We do substitution. E 1 minus 1 minus 4 times 1. Negative 2 times 1 plus e 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0, is e to the 0 minus 4. And then we get negative 2 plus e to the 0. Then we get 1 minus 4 over negative 2 plus 1. And then we're going to simplify. So we got negative 3 over negative 1. And the final answer is 3. So we finished question number 9.